What if I told you that the single most important lesson in business wasn't found in some fancy MBA textbook, but in a guide for, like, first-grade entrepreneurs? Well, today we're uncovering that one core principle that every single successful venture is built on.
Just think about it for a second. If you had to boil down every business book, every startup pitch, every corporate strategy meeting into just one single, unbreakable rule, what would it be?
That's it. Simple, right? I know, it sounds almost too simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Every successful business, from a little neighborhood bake sale to a global tech giant, is built on this foundation. The whole game is about understanding this one person.
So to really get this, we have to start with the most basic question of all. Who or what actually is a customer? Let's frame it this way. Think of them as the hero, the main character of any business story.
Let's just strip away all the jargon for a minute. Forget demographics, market segments, all that stuff. At its core, a customer is simply a person. Someone with a want or a need that you are uniquely able to fill.
But check out this reframing of the whole relationship. You're not just selling to a customer, you are helping them. You are solving a problem for them. You see that? That simple shift in perspective is absolutely crucial.
Okay, so we know who the customer is, but how do we get inside their head? The next step is all about adopting what we can call the customer mindset.
This is the question that launches every great business idea. It's not, what can I sell? It's, what do people around me actually want or need? It forces you to stop thinking about yourself and start really observing the world.
And this is the classic path from just seeing something to doing something. It all starts with empathy. So, step 1, identify a feeling. It's a super hot day and man, people feel thirsty. That feeling then becomes a defined thirst problem that needs a solution. And only then does the solution appear, a lemonade stand. The key is you don't start with the lemonade, you start with the thirst.
So the crucial takeaway here is this. It doesn't matter if you're offering software, a service, or a cookie. You're not really in the business of selling that thing. You are in the business of solving a problem for your customer. Now, I know this might all seem a little abstract, so let's look at a fantastic, real-world example of this principle in action, and it comes to us courtesy of a 6-year-old entrepreneur.
This is Corey, and at just 6 years old, he instinctively understood everything we've just talked about, even if he didn't have the fancy business school vocabulary for it.
This was his why, a clear, powerful goal. But notice, it wasn't about him. It was about solving a major problem for someone he cared about, his mom. This focus on someone else, that's the key.
And this is where two really powerful forces came together. On one hand, you have Corey's passion, baking. But on the other, you have that external goal for his mom. So he wasn't just baking for fun anymore, he instinctively saw his passion as a tool to solve a bigger problem.
And here's the magic moment. He realized that other people had a problem his passion could solve. They were hungry. They wanted a delicious, tasty treat. His cookies became the solution. By solving their small problem, he could solve his mom's big one. See how that works?
You know, the story of Mr. Corey's cookies is so much more than just a cute anecdote. It perfectly captures a universal lesson that scales from a little cookie stand all the way up to a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
So let's just boil this all down to its essence. It all starts by seeing your customer as someone you can help, not just sell to. You do that by focusing on their problem first. Then you realize your passion can actually be the key to the solution. And when you get that right, success just kind of follows. It becomes an inevitable byproduct of their happiness.
And that's the real power here. It doesn't matter if you're selling a cold drink on a street corner or enterprise software to a Fortune 500 company. The fundamental dynamic is identical. You must solve a problem for a customer.
So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have this lens, look around your world today, at your job, in your neighborhood. Forget about products for a moment. What problems do you see that are just waiting for a solution?